All right, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start the guide now. All right, so Abel. Abel is like a hybrid grappler. He's a hybrid grappler, like semi-grappler, right? And his strengths are both his neutral. He has a strong neutral. And he has a strong pressure. Whereas, you know, with other grapplers, their neutral is not that great. And they suffer. Also, their offense is not that great. Their mobility is not great. Well, Abel has good neutral, good mobility. One of the best dashes in the game. See? And he has a good offense, right? Good damage. Now his weakness lies in his bad defense. Like the character, like if you get in and start pressuring him, like he really struggles. He does not have very good reversals. And he's very vulnerable to dive kicks. Like Yon, Kami, Rufus especially, Yang. All of those characters he's very vulnerable to. He also does not have very good anti-airs. Like, for example, if a character jumps on him with a move that hits really downwards, like Blanca's jump heavy kick, his anti-air will get stuffed. So, it's not always easy to anti-air with Abel. But, yeah, I guess he makes up for these weaknesses with his strengths. Just to get that out of the way. So his crouch light kick and his crouch jabs are 5 frame. His only 4 frame buttons are his stand heavy punch and his stand close jab. He can cancel it, but if you don't cancel it, it hits twice. You can only chain cancel it though. Yeah, crouch light kick 5 frames, crouch jab 5 frames as well. Crouch jab, you're not gonna be using a lot, right? You're not gonna be using this a lot, but it's important to note that you can chain it. You can chain it into crouch light kick. I'll go into why chaining into crouch light kick is really good later, but yeah, it can also combo. It can combo into stand heavy punch. So you can get a cool conversion off of a crouch jab. Like, see that? 3-hit combo. This button is also important for resets. See that reset? It's quite ambiguous. But yeah, this button is it can be good, but there's no reason to use it over crouch light kick if you can choose, right? That's the reason. But I guess if you count the overall active frames and recovery, it recovers quicker. So it has some very niche use cases, like for example, let's make Ryu backdash on wake up. If you know your opponent is gonna backdash, you can do crouch jab into step kick. But I think that works with crouch light kick as well. It's just, wait, let me double check on the frame data. The reason why you would want to do crouch jab over crouch light kick is crouch jab on block is +3, whereas crouch light kick is +1 only, you see? So if you do crouch jab into step kick, it acts as a frame trap. Like this is a frame trap, and at the same time it is an anti-option select 2-in-1. So you can use it to try to bait a stand throw. And if they backdash, it will also catch. But if you do it with crouch light kick and they press a crouch jab, then you're gonna get counter hit. So it's not a frame trap. So that's another use case for the crouch jab, where you can use it. It's a good button with niche utilities, but a bit overshadowed by crouch light kick, except in a few situations. Abel is cheap, step kick equals GG's. Yeah, Abel is strong. Like he has a very easy time getting in compared to other grapplers. And yeah, it's cheap, but he has some really big weaknesses, some really big flaws. That's why he's not like a top tier character. He's just outside of that top 15. Yeah, that's crouch jab. Now stand jab. Stand jab is very interesting, right? Stand jab is very interesting because this move will allow him to extend his combo on standing opponents. See? You can combo on... see that? It allows you to... you can do it with the crouch jab too, but... On some characters where you can get that extra... See this one? You can get it on some characters. And it's more optimal, like on tall characters. But yeah, stand jab, far jab, I mean, not it's a good. It can be a good button, you know. You can check things with it, like for example, someone's neutral jumping in front of you, and you've already pressed a button, and you can just check him out of it. Overall, it's a button you're not going to use a lot outside of this BNB, like with the stand medium punch. Now close light punch, this button is interesting because this button, if you really predict the backdash after step kick, you want to do this. Because if you go with a step kick into crouch jab, there is a gap, so you can get a 3-framed. So I don't recommend using this. But you can do this and add a sweep OS into the chain cancel. Yep. Abel has an infinite on Chun-Li, Zangief, and a few characters, but I don't recommend doing it because it's almost impossible to hit. After step kick, you can combo into it like this. Yeah, there it is. You see that? It's slightly more difficult than the heavy punch because you can't blink the light punch unless you have a select button. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, close light punch. You won't be using this much, but yeah, it's cancelable into EX COD only, and it's chain cancelable. So keep that in mind. It's not a very useful button, this one. All right, so we went over all the light punch variations. Now we'll go for the light kicks. So crouch light kick is very important. It will combo. And this is very important because his crouch light kicks chain. So if they try to jump away from it during blocking, or they try mashing or backdashing, they won't be able to. And they'll get opened up. Also, if you get a jump in, it's always nice to go crouch light kick so that they can't auto block and jump away from it. And this combos into stand heavy punch. Like this is the best thing to open up with. Like for example, on a knockdown you roll, it's best to open up with crouch light kick. Because a lot of people, they wake up, sometimes they walk back, you know. And yeah, crouch light kick better, especially after jump in. If you jump in with a button and then you go crouch jab, like even though you can combo into heavy punch as well, if they mash or jump away after blocking the jump in, they will still auto block it. So you have to go low to really open them up. So that's very important. And also for chipping someone out, like say you want to chip someone out and you don't want to take the risk, so you do this. You put yourself in zero danger, it's a zero risk. And if they move at any time during this string, they will get a hit and they die. So you get like 4 chances. 5 actually, if you count the first crouch light kick. So yeah, this is very good. It's cancelable as well. Like that, you see? So if you want to pressure someone and have the potential to cancel, you do this string right here. Crouch jab, crouch light kick, crouch jab, crouch light kick. And if they mash after the crouch jab, or the second crouch jab, they'll get opened up, and then you can cancel into EXCOD. There it is. Yeah, now far light kick. Far light kick is a very interesting button, because it's gonna be your go-to button, because it's impossible to whiff punish. It has good range. It's extremely quick. It's extremely quick. I think it's a 4-frame start. No, it's a 5-frame startup. It's very quick, and it'll beat a lot of buttons. So this is what you'll use in the neutral to really just gain the life lead, and you just throw it out. Low risk button, and as you see there, like in this game, damage really adds up quickly. Look, I'm just gonna hit 4 of them in a row. 1, 2. Say you hit 5 in a round. Look at the damage, how much it adds up. Like never neglect these low damage buttons, because in a game where any damage matters, like these can quickly add up to a big chunk of damage at the end of the round. So really abuse this move, and even if they jump before you press it, you have time to anti-air. So it's a very low risk move, and can't go wrong with it. Now another important use case of this button is that if you do step kick right after, your opponent can jump away from the step kick, right? Because this button, whether on block or on hit, frame data is good. On block is 0, and on hit is +3. So on block, it'll catch the pre-jump frames, and on hit, definitely can jump because he's +3, right? So if you do this, it's a pretty good trap. Stand light kick into step kick. Very important. Yeah. That's all I can think of for this button. Really good, strong poke tool. Far light kick, very important. Do never forget about this button as an Abel player. Like, you gotta throw it out. Like the damage. This is your main poke button. Like, really throw it out there. Be careful though, because some characters they can make you pay for it. Like Bison. Bison doesn't care about this button. So in general, you can throw it out, especially against Shoutouts, like, because this will do well against their lows and stuff. But in general, like, you can throw it out. Just be careful, some characters. Now, close light kick, you'll never want to use this button. It's very bad, not cancelable. Even the frame data on it is pretty bad. Like, it's only 0 on block, +3 on hit. Really useless. So if you find yourself close range, don't use it. It doesn't have any use case even as an option select, so don't use it. It's not very good. All right, now we're gonna move on to the medium punches. Let's start with crouch medium punch. Crouch medium punch is a very good button. Like it is +1 on block and +4 on hit, meaning this combos. Oh. It won't combo, but if you get a jump in, it will combo. Or if you're a bigger character with a better herd box, a wider herd box, you can get this combo much easier, but on smaller characters it will whiff. Or off of a jump in you can get it, like I said, you jump in and you get it. So yeah, this button is very good. I like this button because against a lot of characters you can option select to dash forward into it. This is useful against characters like Bison. because since it has long active frames, like, see, if you input a dash during it, it'll only come out if the button whiffs, but on hit it'll never come out. So let's say you're fighting Dalsim, which has no reversals on wake up. You do crouch, medium punch, dash forward, SPD, and whether they stay there or block, they won't be able to do anything. Like, if they backdash, you dash forward and catch their backdash. If they teleport, you dash forward and catch their teleport. So yeah, this is a pretty cool button to dash OS into it. So something you could practice. Yo, what's up, Howcom? Also, this combos into medium COD. Like, this is doesn't combo into heavy, but medium. So that's something to take note of. It can be a good on hit. You can step kick, and if they try to jump away from it, you'll catch them. It's not a combo or anything, but yeah, if you get a counter hit, I think you can get a step kick off of it for sure. Oh, there it is. So yeah, if you catch onto an opponent's pattern and you get a counter hit crouch medium punch, you can step kick confirm it. Now the close medium punch is 2 hits, but you can cancel the first hit into medium. You can cancel it into anything, but if you want a combo off of it, you gotta cancel it into medium COD, and then you will get a conversion. Now the second hit of this is not gonna be very useful, but against some characters this can be pretty useful. Let me show you an example. Like, these kind of moves are good at covering non-invincible reversals, like Viper. There we go. And now I will go do meaty medium punch. See that? The second hit counter hit. And you can combo off of it. See that? You can get a big conversion off of it. See that? It's pretty good. It has some niche utilities. Like, let's say Viper wakes up with a burn kick in that same situation. Burn kick, which is safe normally against Abel. Since we do stand medium punch as a meaty, see that? It'll also punish that. Even if you do it slightly late, the second hit will catch. So against this character, this move has really good utility, as we saw, because it covers 2 of her most important reversals, EX Seismo and her burn kick. So a lot of these moves in this game, like, they don't have a lot of utility, but if you're a good player, you will find a good utility for them at a high level. I remember back in the day when on crouching opponents, stand heavy punch would not connect. We would have to use this. Like, this was our combo. This was the struggle Abel era. We had to do this. But now, thankfully, in Ultra, we got the hurt box buff on the close heavy punch. So yeah, this button has some niche utilities, but overall, I recommend staying away from it unless you know what you're doing, right? Okay, now far medium punch. This is a really good button to check. Like, to check your opponent, like, it goes far away. I mean, using this is even better, but this does a little more damage. In some situations, like, you can use it. But where I really like to use this button... Oh, okay, it's also super cancelable. But I don't recommend using this combo unless you really build the meter later on and and you want to kill with it, then you should use this. Against someone that's not really focused, like you can FADC forward SPD. This will catch people off guard. And since Abel's dash is so quick, you can even do this. They will not expect it. So that's also another utility. But other than that, it's not cancelable. So it's mostly a poke. Yeah, that's it for the medium punches. We did the light kicks. We did the light punches. Now on to medium kicks. Let's start with crouch medium kick. This is a really important move for Abel. Because this is gonna be your most reliable anti-air from a little further away. Now this is where you're gonna start noticing the puzzle pieces coming back together with this character. Like say your opponent jumps on you. As Abel, not only you get to anti-air, but you get a cool mix-up out of it. See? You can either cross up, get a mix-up, or you can stay in front. Or you can go behind and do a command grab. Like this. Or you can stay in front and do crouch heavy punch. And catch them off guard. When they expect you to land behind them, you land in front. And you crouch heavy punch them into ultra. So yeah, this move is very good. Overall, really good anti-air. You gotta do it a little early, so there's a learning curve with this button. But once you have the timing down, it's really his best anti-air. I really like using this. It's my favorite anti-air to use with Abel. So this move is also really good as a buffer. Like against some moves like Sagat heavy kick, you can throw it out as a buffer and add an option select behind it. A COD option select. Like if you notice, for example, a Sagat player really likes throwing a heavy kick out, and you catch on to that, you can make him pay with crouch medium kick buffers. See that? Medium COD. See that? If you have to be a little close, like here. It's a very good buffer button. At the tournament, if you saw my match against AJ at the offline tournament, I abused this a lot. Caught him with it a few times. He really didn't expect it. Because since you're a hybrid grappler, Sagats will use heavy kick to push you away. So you can get in and do some big damage off of that. So yeah, this very good button. Whether as an anti-air, as a buffer. Against moves that hit high and diagonally, you can use it. And yeah, cancelable. Solid move. On to stand medium kick. This move is not very good. But it's good to get closer, right? So, for example, if you do crouch jab, stand medium kick, your opponent can jump away from you. Even if they try to jump back, they can't. It'll catch them. Which is pretty cool. So, for example, let's say you do crouch jab, light punch, medium kick, crouch jab, medium kick, and command grab. See, I inputted a command grab, right? But since the stand medium kick connected, it didn't come out. Now, if your opponent is crouching on the other hand, and you do... See, it'll come out. You weren't in throw range, but all of a sudden you're in throw range. It's even better to do it with the normal invincible command grab, the EX version, so that there's no way you're getting hit out of it. But very niche utility all around. I wouldn't recommend using this move very much, but you know, it has a bit of utility, like as a scam, you know. as a gimmick, I would say. So Abel's most important normal now. We're gonna discuss forward medium kick, also called the step kick. Now this move is not cancelable by a special move, but it's cancelable by a dash. See that? And the easier input to do to cancel the dash, the step kick with the dash, is you do forward, step kick, forward. See that? I only did forward once after the step kick, and it came out. Because if you do step kick and then dash with two inputs, it's much trickier. So learn how to do it with the shortcut version. And this is where you'll start your offense, because Abel can be full screen, dash forward, step kick, and he's in. You see? Like, so after the step kick on hit, you're +4, meaning you can combo with a close heavy punch, and it's a 1 frame link. This combo. Right? So the difference between a good player and a mediocre Abel is being able to confirm this step kick, right? So the cool thing to do is, if you want to practice it, is let's say I set counter hit to random, and I set a block guard to random, and you confirm it. That was on block, I didn't do anything. That was on block, I didn't do anything. That was on counter hit, I combo. You can take it one step further, and if you get the counter hit, you can get crouch heavy punch. See that? Meterless. This is huge, because even if you don't have the meter for a heavy punch COD, you can confirm this into a crouch heavy punch, and then you can combo into the ultra. This does big damage. Big damage. See that? 537. So if you set the dummy to guard random and a counter hit to random, that's the best way to practice confirming the step kick. See there? I could have crouch heavy punched, but I missed my blink. That was blocked. 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 There we got the confirm on the step kick. That was blocked. That was a hit, but I failed my confirm. See that? That was a counter hit. I could have gotten the crouch heavy punch. I missed my combo, but you get the idea. You learn to confirm this button, and it's gonna be your best friend. Now, when this move is blocked, you're +1. This is where it becomes interesting. Meaning, since Abel does not have a 3 frame other than his regular stand throw, you'll have to be careful. Like, there's a rock, paper, scissors situation going on here. So you can either step kick into command grab, or you can step kick and still do the close heavy punch if you think your opponent is gonna try to jump away from it. But keep in mind, if your opponent does a 3 frame, it'll beat both options. See, I did command grab. Oh, I missed. Oh, see that? My command grab is not even coming out. I get hit during the startup. See that? But you can do the normal invincible one, the hit invincible command grab, but you can get thrown out of it. So you just gotta be careful. Now, even if you do a heavy punch, it'll trade with a 3 frame. Let me show you. See that? It traded there. But that's not too bad, because you can get a stand light kick. Oh, you can get a step kick. Yeah, you can get a step kick trade combo off of the trade. See that? That's insane. So yeah, unless the character has a 3-frame that is a 3-frame that is a medium button, like trades are at your advantage. But be careful, because if you do too many heavy punches, you'll get thrown out of them, because the regular throw is 3-frame startup and your heavy punch is 4-frame startup. But since you're +1, 4-frame startup at +1 and 3-frame startup at 0 at -1 is the same thing, but throw always has priority over normals in a tie situation. Now I'm gonna do heavy punch. See, I got thrown. See how my heavy punch came out and then I got thrown? So yeah, it's a chess match. Now, if you believe your opponent is gonna throw you, that's when you do the regular command grab, because the regular command grab is throw invincible. See, even though it's extremely slow, at a 5-frame startup, it's throw invincible. But the EX version is not throw invincible. See how he got thrown there? So yeah, a lot of interesting interactions after step kick. It's Abel's most important normal. Sometimes it's good not to cancel it. You just throw it out to see if your opponent's gonna mash. If your opponent has meter to FADC a DP, you just throw it out there. Or maybe you don't cancel with a dash and then you dash later. Because sometimes after the step kick, what people do is they buffer DP and then they see you didn't dash and then they stop. But if you dash later, you catch them during their hesitation and you can command grab them. So yeah, very important button. Okay, yeah, one thing I forgot about step kick is if you get a counter hit, you can also do another step kick like this. See, it's a 2-hit combo. See that? You can get a double step kick on counter hit. This button can also be used on some sneaky resets, but I'll get into that later. This move is where you really want to put in a lot of work in the training mode as Abel to learn the confirms, and especially be consistent with the 1-frame link. Now we've been over all of the medium kicks. Now we're gonna go into the heavies. The heavies, we talked about this one when we discussed other normals. This is gonna be your main combo button, because it links into a heavy COD. See, big damage. It links from crouch jab, crouch light kick, from crouch medium punch. But yeah, close heavy punch, very important. But now there are other use cases for this button that I didn't go into. Say your opponent wants to jump over you, and your opponent is very close. Once again, you can get a really good anti-air and get a mix-up off of it. See that? You can do the medium. You can get the medium version, dash right out. You can... Keoma loved doing this. He would do medium and then dash under you and then scoop you. But yeah, very important anti-air for close-up, because it prevents your opponent from jumping over you. You see? And you get a free mix out of it. You have to do it very late since it's really quick. Sometimes I even like waking up with it against dive kick characters. When I know they're not gonna throw me, and I know they're gonna instant dive kick, you can wake up with it. It's not a bad option. What's another use case? Oh yeah, Abel's close heavy punch also combos into wheel kick. Right, let me remove the counter hit. But this is unsafe on hit, so I don't recommend doing that. And this will always do more damage. So yeah. But one use case for that is if you juggle and you cancel into you juggle into a heavy punch, close heavy punch, you can get a meaty wheel kick that's also an overhead. So for that, this can be good. Yeah, you can cancel it into a roll after crouch heavy punch. Like you can do crouch heavy punch, heavy roll, and close heavy punch, medium roll. You can mix your opponent like that. But yeah, close heavy punch. Oh, another really cool thing about this button is that usually with Abel, let's take Sagat for example. Sometimes you won't be able to, on some characters like Boxer, for example, you won't be able to link crouch light kick into close heavy punch. There's too much pushback. So you'll get far heavy punch. So confirming against those characters is a bit tricky. Well, if you have 3 bars, you won't have to worry about that because you can do this. You can do close heavy punch and then red focus confirm it on the second hit. You have time to confirm it. Like, so you do this. You can do that. Or you can confirm with the same logic into super. See that? You can also scam your opponent like this. Nobody expects that. Yeah. Close heavy punch. One of Abel's most important normals. Like you really gotta... this button, you really gotta have it in your muscle memory. Now, another important move for Abel, you've seen me use it a few times, is crouch heavy punch. So this launches, right? It launches. And you can combo it into ultra even. Right? And this is also gonna be your most rewarding anti-air. I'm not saying the best anti-air, I'm saying the most rewarding. Let me show you why. So, this button, it has 2 hits. It's only the second hit that launches, right? So, if when you anti-air with it, you hit your anti-air with the first hit, it's not gonna launch. But if you do it early enough where it's the second hit that connects, it's always gonna launch. So your opponent jumps on you, you hit it early, you're always gonna have a juggle off of it. Let me show you an example. See that? Let me do it late to show you. See how if I do it late, it never launches. But now I'm gonna do it early again. Damn. You get a free ultra. This is broken right here. That's why jumping on Abel, even though he has weak anti-airs, is never a good idea. Because you can get such insane reward. And even if you don't get the... you don't have the ultra, you can dash forward into Fallen Sky. Right? Or you can roll... right? Like that. You can also step kick to get a reset. In the corner especially, you can get some cool stuff. But the best you can get here is either you go for heavy skyfall or you go into ultra. But if you want to be flashy, I guess you can do this. You can get this cute little combo. You combo into a heavy COD, into kick follow-up, into FADC Ultra. It's 3 bars to do less damage, so I wouldn't recommend using it. Yeah, this button is extremely good because you can do it to pressure. And it's cancelable on block. So let's say you get a command grab and you think your opponent is gonna jump away. Or they won't be able to guess which side you're on. Because if you do light roll, you end up in the front. It's very hard to see. But, you know, the thing with this button is it's -6 on block, right? Let me show you an example. So I punished it, right? But if I cancel with a focus level 1, I get a crumple. You gotta time it well. But worst case scenario, it will trade, and best case scenario, you will get a crumple. You can do a red focus even. Then even if it trades, you'll get the crumple. So yeah, it's very... And if you really don't want to have to use meter to make it safe, you can still keep it safe by... Like if you know your opponent is going to press a button, cancel into wheel kick. Cancel into EX. See that? You can also cancel, I think, into medium COD. His lights won't come out due to a proximity block. It's also a way you can make it safe. If you're not in the corner, you can also do crouch heavy punch and get out of there. Like, I don't know, try to get out of there. At the end of the day, this is not the mix-up. The mix-up is you trying to predict your opponent is going to get hit by it. And if they don't get hit by it, then you can FADC backdash, FADC level 1, FADC focus. You can cancel into light wheel kick, EX wheel kick, cancel into roll. Most likely, it's better for them not to try to punish it, basically, is where I'm going at. Yeah, crouch heavy punch, good anti-air, a lot of reward, launcher. On block, it's okay. It's not the most unsafe move. So yeah, very important button. You gotta be using this a lot. I'll go later into some strategies involving this button that you can use. Yeah. Now, for heavy punch, don't use this button. It's not very good. But sometimes when you'll do step kick into heavy punch COD, if your heavy punch trades and you did COD, it'll come out as a far heavy punch and it'll trade. That's always funny. But yeah, this button, don't use it. It's not very good. So yeah, that's it for the heavy punches. Now we're going to the heavy kicks. Now, first of all, we have sweep. Abel's sweep has very long range. You know, it's relatively safe. And the cool thing about this sweep is that it's cancelable. See that? So any character that can punish it will have to think twice about trying to punish it. Right? So it's a cool tool to use once in a while in neutral. If you think your opponent walks back too much, you can throw it out. It also juggles. For example, you're in the corner and you want to keep your opponent in the corner. You can cancel. You can combo with a sweep and even add a falling sky to build meter. On some characters, you can even do a safe jump if they don't have a good reversal. Yeah, it can juggle. It can be used for a few things. So it can be if you know your opponent likes blocking, you can do this FADC-4 to SPD. This is like almost guaranteed. Nobody expects this. I've rarely ever seen people jump out of this. So you can use this. Also, one property this move has that is really good is it can low profile. So let me show you an example of where this move's low profile properties can come in handy. So Rufus, which is Abel's worst matchup, you can actually abuse this move against him, funny enough. And it'll make his Messiah whiff. Like, let's say let's say Rufus has meter and they want to EX Messiah after the step kick. Let me get a reversal. So if I know my opponent is likely to EX Messiah, I can step kick into sweep. Let me show you. And then I can ultra. See how it went over him completely? This is broken. And like we discussed, since Abel can cancel his sweep, even if Rufus does not EX Messiah and I swept, I can cancel into a light COD. Rufus does not have a 3 frame, so it's relatively safe against him. His only punish is throw, but if you predict he's gonna try to throw you, you can cancel with the follow-up of the COD and that will beat the throw. So it's really good against Rufus. Like, you jump in, you go sweep, you go this. On his wake up, you go sweep. If they EX Messiah, you can heavily punish them. Really cool property against Rufus. Sweep. Pretty cool. This is actually, I learned from Kioma. Kioma used to be like probably the best Abel around the end of Ultra Street Fighter 4. He had some really cool tech that I used to... On his YouTube channel, he still has a lot of footage that you can learn stuff from. So, yeah. Sweep against Abel, against Rufus, if you predict an EX Messiah, very good. Overall, very good button. Now, far heavy kick is very bad. I don't recommend using it. It's very slow, but one reason I like using this move is look at the startup animation. Does it remind you of something? It has the same startup animation as this move. So, if your opponent knows you're trying to chip them out with this, and they're waiting to ultra you, you can crouch and then do this. They're gonna be like, oh, there it is, and they're gonna ultra. It always works. So yeah, that's one use case I can think of for this move. Other than that, it's not very good. If you're really looking for a trade, you can use it to get a combo. But other than that, it's not very good. But this button close up right here is probably the best overhead in the game. Like, if your opponent is crouching, this is an overhead. It's one of the quickest overheads in the game. Unreactable. You can get it even after a crouch jab. And if it trades, you can get a combo off of it. But if it's a counter hit, see, you can get crouch light kick. If you're really good at confirming. But off of a trade combo, you can get a cool combo. Let me show you. See that 2-hit combo? That's a 2-piece right there. And then you can absolutely annihilate him. So this is all about awareness, you know. And if you are aware of your overhead, you can also confirm it. Abel is all about confirms. This character is all about confirms. Whether crouch heavy punch, step kick, normals, what you really need to be good at this character is confirming. That's why this character has a very small player base. It's because although the character is strong, not many people can play confirms. Because confirming is not easy for some people. So really get into that training mode. Put the dummy on random block and start trying to confirm stuff. But yeah, this move, overhead, it can hit strangely. See how if I'm standing, it hits differently. If it hits your opponent while standing, it's not as plus. See, even if it's a counter hit, I can't combo. Because it hit your opponent standing. It's only if the second part of the overhead hits with the heal, that's when you get a light kick off of the counter hit, or a crouch light kick to get a combo. Yeah, overhead, very, very important move. Like, if you know how to micro delay it to get trades. See, look at my inputs right now. Right now, see what I did there? Even though it didn't trade, I inputted the step kick. It's an option select in case it trades. So that if it doesn't trade, nothing comes out. But if it does trade, then I'll have my step kick and I can combo off of the trade. This is a very important move for Abel up close. You're gonna be using this a lot to put pressure on your opponent. And you can get some big conversions off of it, off of a counter hit or a trade. So yeah. I also really like this move for resets in the corner. Like, let's say you get a crouch heavy punch in the corner. You can get the heavy kick. You can get the close heavy kick overhead. And then you can dash after and cross under. Very difficult to react to. On some characters, you won't get the dash under. Depends on the character, it's character specific, but sometimes you will cross under. There I went under, you saw that? Some really cool use cases for this close heavy kick. So yeah. Alright, we're gonna go into aerial normals. So let's start with his jump jab. So his quickest buttons in the air are neutral jump, medium kick. So for example, if your opponent wants to get out of the corner and you want to air to air them, the neutral jump medium kick not only is really good for his hitbox, look at how high it hits up. Not even Viper with her burn kick can get out of it. You'll check her out of the air. Like, look, it hits so high it hits off screen. Whereas other buttons, they don't hit as high. So this button, not only it's the quickest in the air, but it's also has a good hitbox for preventing opponents from jumping over you. Now, if we're talking diagonal buttons, the quickest is the light kick. This knee right here. It's his quickest diagonal button. So if you're reacting late to a late jump and you know you have a little window to get out of there, always do a jump back light kick. It's gonna be your quickest way to get a trade. Now, neutral jump light kick is very different. See how it hits horizontally? This is a very important button, because it can also cross up. It hits from behind as well. Let me show you an example. I need to play a character against a character that has a quicker dash so I can show it to you guys. See that? See how it hits? It has a really good hitbox. So if you're playing against characters that have many ways of going under you, like for example, have you ever had that interaction where you're playing against Forte, he tortillas, you neutral jump, you land but he's behind you? Well, with Abel, you will hit on your landing with neutral jump light kick, because it hits both ways. It's a very good normal. For example, I don't know, you're playing against Bison, you neutral jump, he does scissors, and he scissors under you, you land with this. Bison slide, he lands behind you, you land with this. This is a very important button, and you can combo off of it. See that? You can combo into close heavy punch. So yeah, this button, really don't underestimate this button. It is vital for Abel, especially at a higher level. It has so many utilities that are really, really, really good. So you gotta keep that in mind, especially when it comes to moves that cross under you and stuff like that. Or let's say you wake up on someone's wake up and they try to walk under you. So you do this. It hits both ways. All right, that's it for the neutral jump light kick. Now let's do jabs. Neutral jump jab you're not going to be using very often. This one is good because it hits early. And you can combo off of it as well. So if you really want to hit as early as possible, I guess this move is yours, but you can't combo if it hits very high. But if you really want to get that hit, go for it. I'm pretty sure this move can instant overhead on a lot of characters, so it's good. The neutral jump light punch. I really like the back jump and forward jump light punch because it's very active. Look, I'm gonna press it pretty much at the peak of my jump and it's still gonna hit because it's very active. So if you want to cover a retreat and you don't need that extra startup frame, like the quickness of the light kick, it's best to use this one because it's so active, it'll cover your jump back for longer. So this is a really good retreat button and it's a really good jump in button because it's also very active. So I really like using this and then ticking into a TT. It's very good. But yeah, it's gonna be mainly a retreat tool, and if you want to jump in and hit early, this is your best move. This is very useful against characters like Guile. Like you jump over a sonic boom and you want to hit as early as possible, you gotta go with this one. Because if you go with this or this or this, see how none of them hit early? So you want to go for this, right? This is good too, but it doesn't hit early. See, I pressed it extremely late and it still didn't hit. Whereas this, it'll hit early. It'll stuff some anti-airs as well, so keep that in mind. All right, let's talk about medium punches. This is good. I like using this sometimes, like, because it's fairly, it does more damage than the neutral jump medium kick. It's pretty good. If your opponent back jumps into the corner and you neutral jump to predict a forward jump, you can still do this. It'll catch them. But yeah, overall not very useful. But yeah, it's good. It's good for air to airs, but I don't recommend using this one. I recommend using heavy punch for air to airs. Much better button. So yeah, these two have the same startup anyway. And neutral jump heavy punch is way better overall. All right, now let's talk about medium kick. Forward jump and back jump medium kick. These are gonna be your main jump in buttons. It's gonna be your jump for setups. Like say you get a back throw, you do a setup. You're gonna do it with medium kick. It's a very good button. It's also gonna be your retreat jumping button, like in certain scenarios. Like for example, you're playing against Bison, and Bison has 3 meters, so you know it's gonna be likely he's gonna wake up with EX scissors, and you jump back on his wake up. You want to land with this button because this will whiff, and this will connect, but it's not very good. So you do this, the medium kick. Very important button. All right, now onto the heavy kick. So if you want to do the most damage off of a neutral jump, say during a stun combo, neutral jump heavy kick is really good. 200 damage. It's very reliable. It hits deep. It's also a good it can be a solid air to air, but I prefer heavy punch. But yeah, if you want to combo off of a heavy kick, it's probably the best one. Say you're playing against a grappler. Like, let's say you're playing against Makoto and you know she's gonna wake up with a command grab and you neutral jump. The best button is the heavy kick because you can do it so low to the ground and it's still gonna connect. And it can also probably connect into Ultra. There it is. So yeah, this is gonna be your go-to combo off of a neutral jump. Unless you want to use light kick because you don't know, because your opponent is behind you, use light kick. Now, forward jump heavy kick is very interesting because it will whiff if you do it early, but it'll hit if you do it a little late. It will hit if you do it late. Now, one niche utility of this button is that if your opponent jumps later than you, there are a lot of scenarios where this will stuff any attempt for your opponent to try to jump over you during a jump, if that makes sense. Like, that's one utility of this move. And this is also the move I would use to chase down a back jump if I know they're gonna jump back. Some characters have a very long arc jump, like Bison and stuff. You can chase them down like this if you really don't want them to get away. Or this one is also good, but this one, it hits upwards, so it can be good for certain scenarios. Now, the best air-to-air button for Abel, heavy punch. Let's talk about neutral jump heavy punch. Like, it's a good jump-in button, although I would prefer this one. But if you're playing against the character, like let's say you're playing against T-Hawk and he jumps over you, you just air to air him with this button. Very good. It's also a very good retreat button. Like it's very quick. 5-frame startup for a heavy button is insane. Like you just get out and you cover your retreat with this button. Very important. Now we're gonna dive into Abel's special moves. We're gonna start with the most important of his special moves. The command grab. So the command grab is a 5-frame startup. They all are 5 frames. The only thing that basically changes is the range and the damage. So see, from this range, the heavy one will whiff, right? But the light one will connect. Because you sacrifice damage for range. So 5-frame startup. And it's a half circle input. So it's much easier to do than an SPD. And you can get your offense started off of one of these. Like you can... If one of those lands, like, it's party time for Abel. So... that's what you build your whole game plan around. Because your opponent, that's what they're going to be the most scared of. That's one of the reasons why step kick is so scary all of a sudden. Because all Abel has to do is step kick in and grab you. Right? So, yeah, that's how you're going to get everything started. Command grab, that's what people are scared of. That's what people know Abel does. And you're going to be using this tool a lot. Sometimes you're going to hold, not use it, because you expect your opponent to jump or to get away, and that's when you're going to use your other options to prevent them from getting away from you. But basically what I'm saying is everything is built around this move, like the command grab. And that's what's going to get everything started. Now, there are two properties that make... the regular tornado throws and the EX tornado throw different. The EX tornado throw does good damage and has good range, but where it's really gonna differ with the other TTs is it's hit invincible. So if you're knocked down, for example, and you're looking for a command grab to do on wake up that is invincible to hits, you use this one. But it's not throw invincible, right? So if your opponent wants to throw you and you wake up with this one, you're gonna get thrown. Now that's where the regular one comes into play, because it's the opposite. It's not strike invincible, but it's throw invincible. So if you think your opponent is like, oh, I'm gonna throw him, he's gonna wake up with EX command grab, you just wake up with the regular one and you scoop them. So you can mix your opponent like that defensively. And yeah, Abel can be tricky. If you have good reads, you can make good active defense reads and mess your opponent good. Now, another use case of Abel's EX command grab is that since it is strike invincible and it's slow, it punishes safe jumps. Let me show you an example. Now, this is a Viper safe jump setup, right? Let me show you. See? Now, Abel can punish safe jump with EX tornado throw. There it is. See how she got punished? Now, you gotta be cool. You gotta be careful. Because if your opponent knows you're gonna do it, they can predict it and punish you heavily for using it. But if you have a good eye and you recognize a character's safe jumps, their setups, then you can punish them for trying it with this. But they can counter it by just delaying slightly their jump. And since Abel does not have a solid anti-air on wake up, it's gonna be a safe jump anyway. Unless you go with some armor cancel shenanigans, but that's some advanced stuff I'm gonna get into later. But yeah, tornado throw, really strong tool, gets your offense started. Like for example, if you dash forward and you do medium roll, you land behind. Like, look at this. I'm gonna do medium roll, bam, I'm behind him. If I do the light one though, I'm gonna stay in front. Behind, in front. And these are all very difficult to see. So yeah. The setup after TT is dash forward and then you choose where you want to go. Against some characters you want to do heavy. Because heavy, for example, if you do heavy against Ken and you block standing, it puts you in a range where he can FADC his DP on the second hit. It'll only hit once. So you can use this sometimes to mess with your opponent, the heavy one. After TT against characters that don't have a good what do you call it? A good reversal anti-air, like Guile, you can TT into dash forward jump. Because if those characters block a jump in, that means they don't have a down charge, then they're free. So against a Guile, for example, you do this, and then even if he blocks it, he has no reversals after that, and he's in melee range against Abel, which is extremely good. So yeah, that's it for the TT. Also, TT is very important as a tool because, let me show you an example. Since Abel's focus dash is extremely good, you can use TT to punish fireballs by dashing through them. So for example, I'm gonna make Abel Ryu throw a fireball here, and I'm gonna jump immediately after. You can react to it. Oh, so you know Ryu is gonna throw a fireball, you dash through it and you punish him. But it has to be a bit of a prediction though. See that? And you can do it from pretty far away, actually. Look how far I am. And I still managed to punish that fireball. See that? Very important. Now, ideally, if you want to get the big punish, you can do close heavy punch. But TT is pretty good. More reliable, I would say. Because even if you're far range, like you see from here, you can get a crouch jab, but TT will always grab, even from a little further away like this. So yeah, very important. Yeah, that's it for the TT. You can get some cool resets with TT, but I'm gonna talk about it later when I talk about some other moves. Now, another one of Abel's very important moves is the roll. Alright, so he has light rolls, medium roll, heavy roll. Depending on which one you use, it's slower, but has a longer range and longer invincibility time. And then there's the EX version. So all the regular rolls, they are not invincible on startup. So that you can get a hit off of them on startup before the full invincibility kicks in. But the EX version, it's invincible from the first frame onwards. Keep in mind that all of these can be thrown. None of them are throw invincible. But yeah, like these rolls have some really cool use cases. Like, let me show you. For example, if your opponent throws you and wanna jump in for a cross up or something, you can if it's a late jump, you can get out of there. Like, for example, that was a very late jump. I'm getting out of there. And since it's late, even the light one will work. It was very late jump in. But now, if it's a meaty jump in, only the EX one will work. See, reversal, I got hit. But the EX one will work. But I don't recommend doing this because you can get thrown. So if your opponent jumps in and option selects a throw, you'll get thrown. So be careful against good players. Don't use this recklessly. So these rolls are also what you're going to use to mix your opponents a lot of the time. For example, like I said, if you anti-air someone, you do crouch medium kick, medium roll to land behind them. There it is. You can do the light version to stay in front. If you do a crouch heavy punch and you want to get a reset, you can stay in front. You can stay behind. When you do setups, dash forward light roll, you stay behind. Dash forward medium roll, you land behind. You get the idea. It's gonna be your main tool. It's also really good to bait DPs. Like, for example, you know your opponent is gonna wake up DP, so you do heavy roll on their wake up. Like, for example, I know my opponent is gonna reversal. You can bait it out with a heavy roll, and you can ultra punish. You can also dash forward and get a full step kick punish. But yeah, very important move. Like, I like using this when I see that my opponent has a lot of meter and I land a cross-up jump in. Sometimes I'll do this and I'll roll out. See? You can roll out and bait something out. So yeah. A lot of people, they panic reversal when Abel gets in, so you can take advantage of it. Bait some reversals out, etc. Alright, that's it for the roll. Now, Skyfall. There's not a lot to say about this move. It's the best combo finisher. You always want to go for combos where you can finish with this. Right? Because right after this, you can backdash, light roll to stay in front, or medium roll to land behind. It's a very good combo finisher. It's also the EX version. It has some better invincibility. I mean, it has no invincibility, but it's a better anti-air. See that? Unfortunately, it's not very good into dive kicks. But yeah, you can use it in against characters jumping in. If you don't want to risk one of your normal anti-airs getting stuffed, you can use this. So yeah, that's why I always finish when I have meter, I always finish this combo with crouch heavy punch COD, because then it leaves you in such a good spot afterwards. Now let's talk about COD. There's a lot to say about this move. So all of these, they're -3 on block the first hit, right? But it's a bit tricky. I'm gonna punish it, right? Let me see if I got the punish timing right. Yep, that was a punish. But look at what happens if I do the follow-up. Bam, counter hit. See that? It's the same with the throw. There it is. Now, even if the throw is a 3-frame startup, and it should punish the COD first hit, it's very risky because Abel can just do the follow-up. And it'll beat the throw. It'll grab the kick follow-up though, so be aware of that. But if you continue the punch follow-up, it's not gonna punish. So what your opponent has to do is do an invincible one, right? An invincible reversal. And Ryu can punish that all the time by blocking the first hit and doing heavy DP. So yeah, -3 on the first hit. Then the second or third hit are extremely unsafe. But once again, even the second hit is not that easy to punish unless they have an invincible move. So now there's one of those. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the utility of this move other than comboing, because obviously you've seen me do combos. Lights can combo into the EX version. See that? 2 hits. Mediums can combo into medium versions. And heavy can combo into the heavy version. And that's basically how it goes. Now, there are some advanced things you can do with this. You can predict backdashes with this or jumps. And you can FADC. Like, let me show you an example. Let's take the character with the best backdash in the game, so I can illustrate this to you. Let's say I'm playing against Chun. So you jump on Chun, right? I'm choosing this as an example. And let's say Chun, immediately after blocking your jump, she backdashes. What you as Abel can do is you can jump medium kick into light COD. See that flow state she's in? That flowy state? You can FADC and combo into Ultra. This is really extremely good. This is really good. Now let's get Chun-Li. Instead of backdashing, she will jump. Let's see what happens. See that? Now you get the EX COD. And you also get... Look at what you get. You can get Ultra Raw. Wait, I missed it. That's insane. So you can use the light COD as this insane hard read tool to deal with backdashes or jumps. And you know what else is crazy? Let's say your opponent does not backdash, does not jump, and you COD dash forward, you're at +6 on block. Can you imagine? So if you do this and this, it's a block string. It's so plus. Even if she doesn't backdash or jump away, you can continue pressuring. So if you're playing against a Chun-Li or a Rose or any character with those disgusting backdashes, you could put this into your arsenal. Light COD. I don't recommend using the medium and the heavy version unless it's to FADC and get in or during combos. But the EX you can use in the neutral. Why? Because it has armor. See that? So if you predict your opponent is gonna press something, you can armor through it and punish. And this is one of the most terrifying things about Abel, is that in the neutral, you press something, he can just knock you down with one. He can do one EX COD, knock you down, get a jump in, and then kill you off of just that. So just pressing a simple button in the neutral against Abel is scary. And let's take Chun-Li for example. If she blocks your COD, she can't punish it with an invincible move unless she has super, right? So her crouch like it, crouch jab are 3 frame, but she's not gonna risk it because there's the follow-up of the COD that can counter hit her. And her EX spinning bird kick is not a 3 frame startup, so it's not a punish. So even if you do use it on block against some characters, they have to guess, they can't punish it. Very strong. Now, another tool of the EX COD, since it has armor, you can use it to anti-air to some extent, especially against dive kick characters or neutral jump. Let's show you an example on a neutral jump. See that? I saw Chun neutral jump, I EX COD'd her, and I get a juggle ultra off of it. And it's not even that hard to do. Like you're playing, bam. Insane. All right, now another thing you can achieve with this EX COD is armor canceling. Let me show you an example of what it could be used for. So if Abel uses EX roll right away on a jump setup, you can get punished and option selected, right? Let me pick a character that can safe jump. So if you recognize a setup like this, that's where armoring is good. There it is. You see there? I did an armor cancel. You can use it to armor cancel into roll or armor cancel into TT, and it's pretty good. But I don't recommend worrying about it, because as you can see, even I barely use this. Now, Kiyoma used to use it pretty commonly, and he was really good at it, which is quite impressive. But you really don't need it to be a good Abel player. COD is very good. Also, another thing about COD is sometimes it'll trade. Like this will trade, and that is huge because you can get a step kick on the trade. So this is very hard to demonstrate a trade combo with the COD, but if it trades, it's a good day. You can get a step kick after it, which is very insane. Yeah. Now, the EX COD, I want to give you some other utility. Let's say you're playing against Yun, one of Abel's worst matchups. Abel really struggles against dive kicks, right? If you see a dive kick character neutral jumping, you can throw it out. If you time it well, they can't really, if they dive kick, they get hit. And if they don't, they also get hit. Because they're in the air. So it's really good against dive kick characters. Even if they do a forward jump into instant dive kick, if you predict it, you can EX COD. Oh, I did an ultra. See that? And you can get an ultra juggle off of it. And if you were wrong, worst case scenario, look at what happens. For example, you think Yun is gonna instant dive kick here, right? But he's not gonna do that. He's gonna jump on you. And you read it wrong and you ended up CODing. You're gonna go right under him and get... You're only gonna get punished if the Yun has the awareness. You see? A lot of the times they won't even punish you unless you're playing against really good players that has the awareness. So it's not a bad deal. So the risk and reward ratio is good. So that's another use case for the CODs. So CODs you can really abuse if a character has no reversal and no 3-frame. Like, for example, if you're playing against Dulcim, man, you can abuse this move. You can just do it on block to mess with him. For example, you do crouch medium punch, dash option select. You just do this on his wake up. Anyways, that's it for the COD. I think with all the information that you have on that move, you can already make great use of it. But yeah, COD also a great move to punish stuff. Like the EX will punish Honda headbutts. You can punish Blanca balls with this. Yeah, keep that in mind. Great punish tool. Oh yeah, wheel kick. Okay, wheel kick. You can use the light version. From long range, and it will be safe on block. You see that? If you space it well, it's really good, and it's an overhead. So if you're playing against someone that likes crouching to do lows and stuff, once in a while you can throw this one out. It does good chip. Like, you can pressure with this. Very, very strong move. From long range, you can try and do the same with the medium version. But it's easier to punish, so you gotta be careful. And it'll also combo. Like, for example, say you want to keep your opponent in the corner. And because if you do this, you get them out of the corner, right? We don't want that, right? So you can do this into wheel kick, keep them in the corner. So it's a good combo. It's really good to chip your opponent. It does a lot of damage. Like, look at that chunk. 120. Trust me, you land 2 of these in a round, your opponent is going to be pissed off. They're going to start getting annoyed. So definitely use this. Yeah, that's it. And now we can talk about his ultras. So this ultra, first of all, his super. I don't recommend using the super unless you want to use it as a confirm on the heavy punch, in which case it's good. Alright, so the super, I wouldn't recommend using it, because even as a confirm, you can use this, like 355, whereas super is like probably around the same, but you keep 100 more. So if you really want to kill, you can use it, but I would recommend just using red focus. So you can ultra and stuff. Yeah, the ultra 1 is very important because you can combo it off of crouch heavy punch. Like, ultra is very important. You can combo it off crouch heavy punch. Oh my god, why am I missing that? There it is. And you can, like we've seen earlier, you can combo it off of Rekkas when they hit airborne, like the COD first hit. You can also like use it to option select against backdashes. Like, for example, say you do this, you add an option select ultra in there. Let me show you an example. See, they get punished. But the anti-backdash option select ultra is a bit risky. Unless you know how to do ultra and end with back. Like this. A DP reversal will catch you even though you're doing the safe jump. So you gotta be careful about that. Ultra 2 goes through fireballs. So against characters with fireballs, that's what you want to be doing. You want to be reacting with Ultra. Now, Ultra 2 is where it gets really interesting, because that's an Ultra you don't hear much about, but it's really good. There's a difference between Ultra 1 and Ultra 2 is the Ultra 2 you can punish backdashes better with it. Let me explain how Ultra 2 works. So you do the Ultra, and you can release it whenever you want. You see how quick that was? It's an extremely quick Ultra. Travels almost full screen in like 10 frames. You can also decide to stand up. If you don't like what you're seeing, you can hold it and then stand. So during the flash of the animation, you can look at what's going on and then decide not to go for it. Against bad players, you can really even bait them out like this. Hold it, they will jump. You bait them into jumping, and then they jump, and then you let it go to punish their jump. It's always funny. Especially characters that charge characters, because as soon as they jump, they don't have a reversal to cancel their pre-jump frames, so their landing frames, I mean, so they're cooked. Yeah. So, for example, if you know your opponent is gonna backdash, if you try to option select them with Ultra 1, I'm gonna put the dummy into all block, and he should block this. See that? Because it's not a reliable anti-backdash option select. But the Ultra 2, on the other hand, it will punish backdashes clean. Ooh. See that? Even if you're Chun-Li, even if you're Rose, it will always punish your backdash. So it's a very good Ultra. I like this Ultra just to be able to deal with backdashes, because you can do it on the stand light kick. See, it will only come out if the stand light kick whiffs. So yeah, Ultra 2. And this Ultra is also very important because a lot of moves that are very difficult to punish become punishable. For example, this Ultra is really good against Honda. You can punish his headbutts with it. It's also really good against characters that don't have a very... Like, for example, look at Abel's jump arc. He can jump very far, right? See that? But some characters, their jump arc is not that good. I'm thinking about Blanca, for example. Although against Blanca, I recommend using Ultra 1, but... Boxer does not have the best jump arc. You can punish their back jumps. Like, for example, let me pick Boxer. So, I held up, right? Let's say I'm gonna throw you Meaty. See that shit? So, if your opponent is scared of TT and jumps back, you can Ultra 2 immediately as an OS. And hold it. If need be. And it will punish the landing frames of your opponent's jump. It's very good. Also, let's say Boxer's in the corner. And he walks forward slightly. Meaning he no longer has charge. He walks forward, he no longer has charge. You activate it. He has to make an immediate decision. Either get hit immediately or jump. Or backdash. You will have to do something. This Ultra has a very quick animation. It doesn't give you enough time to charge. So, no matter what Boxer does, if he jumps back or forward or backdashes, you can punish all of those with the Ultra 2. Now, if you hold it, and Boxer also decides to wait, then he has his Ultra charge and then he can punish you. So it's a mix-up, right? So, this Ultra is pretty good. And it does some good damage. Overall, I always recommend using Ultra 1 because it's much better overall. It combos. and stuff, but Ultra 2 can have some niche utilities. If you're playing against a noob or something, pick Ultra 2. You're gonna you're gonna have some fun. Now that I went over all of Abel's tools, let's talk general game plan. So as Abel, you wanna get in, but you can also play the neutral game, right? For example, let's say you're playing against the Fireball character. Against Fireball characters, the game plan is usually the same, right? The goal is to focus the fireballs, poke a bit with the light kick, focus the fireball, and as soon as you have Ultra, that's when things get nice for you because they're gonna be more scared of throwing fireballs. But this move is what you want to throw, like especially against Shoutouts, because this move has a very strange hitbox where it will sometimes beat lows. And you can also use step kick to whiff punish if you're really good. Say you walk out of crouch medium kick range and you see it, then you do it. Like, let me show you an example of how it looks in game. All right, let's say I'm in range, I walk out of it and I whiff punish. See that? Very good whiff punish tool. Yeah, your game plan is you want to get in, mix your opponent. Your go-to is like your safest option after this is to go regular throw. Because then if your opponent throws you, then you tech. If your opponent does a 3-frame immediately thinking you're going to TT or press a button, then you're going to throw them as well. Your throw is going to win. So overall, this is good. And if your opponent neutral jumps and you throw, you can still anti-air and mix him up. See that? It's very, very powerful. But if you have a good read on your opponent after conditioning him, then you can go for a step kick TT, step kick EXTT if you think they're gonna press a button and not throw you. You can go for a button if you think they're gonna try and jump away. So yeah, there are many things you can do. Yeah, I think with those tools already, like, there's a lot for you to try out and mess around with. And if you implement all of these things that I already discussed, you should be extremely dangerous with Abel. So yeah, your goal is to get in. So one thing you can do, like, once in a while to disrupt the neutral is dash forward SPD. TT, I mean. You can use the regular one, but using the EX version that is invincible to hits is better. Abel's dash is pretty unreactable. It's only 16 frames. It's the second quickest dash in the game after Chun-Li. So, and the animation is also difficult to react to because he doesn't move a lot. You know? Another important thing is I think patience with Abel is very, very valuable. Like, you just do nothing. You just wait. You don't do anything for 20 seconds if you don't have to. Because the less you do, the more it's gonna be difficult for your opponent to react when you do something. So let's say you don't do anything. Bam! Dash for the XSPD. They're gonna get a hit. And Abel's punish game is really good. Like, if your opponent jumps on you, you get a crouch heavy punch, second hit like we discussed earlier, you get a knockdown and they're dead. So you can just wait for them to whiff crouch medium kick, whiff punish them, throw this out, you know? And then if they jump, you punish them. And then once in a while, you disrupt the pace. Bam. Step kick. TT. Bam. So yeah, as Abel, you really want to put it all together. And yeah, it's very strong. Alright, so after forward throw, micro walk back, light punch into heavy roll or medium roll to stay in front. A setup I like to do is I micro walk step kick into jump. depending on how you micro walk, you land either in the front or in the back. And on a lot of characters, this is a safe jump. Yeah, same thing after back throw. You do back throw, walk back jab. Yeah, I got a brain lag. Back throw, jab, bam. Or you do the medium version to stay in front. Forward throw, same thing. I don't like using the roll setup off of throws because I prefer jump setups. After back throw, I would rather do micro walk, light kick, and jump like this. These work better for me, from my experience. But the best Abel players, they didn't do that. They did roll mix-ups. So you really want to prioritize those. After Skyfall, backdash heavy roll, you land, no. After Skyfall, backdash medium roll, you land behind. Backdash light roll, you land in the front. Very difficult mix-up to deal with. After TT, same thing. Dash forward light roll, you're in front. And dash forward medium roll, you're in the back. Very strong mix-up. Then you can open your opponent up with this. If it hits, if crouch light kick hits, you can confirm the heavy punch. If crouch light kick didn't hit, you can just let the heavy punch go on block. It's safe. Example, you do this. It was blocked, then you don't cancel it. If it did connect, then you cancel it. Bam, get a conversion. You can do roll, land behind them, TT them. They're in the vortex. You can do it again. Then mix it up. Yeah. Anti-air options, we discussed them. If they try to jump from close, you do the close heavy punch. If they jump from a little further away, you try to get the juggle off of the crouch heavy punch. If they jump from very far, you do crouch medium kick into roll. Get a mix up off of it. So yeah, there are many ways you can play Abel. That was it for the guide, really. This is a very like surface level guide where I just went into the character. I'm not going into matchup specific stuff, although I discussed a few matchup specific things. But yeah, like I think if you put all of these together, you could have a very dangerous Abel with just this. Like, if you have any questions that are more like advanced or like matchup specific, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I will reply. That was for the YouTube chat.